Stephen Byrne, thank you so much for inviting me to your favourite bar, Hell's Irish Pub in Seattle, North America.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here. It's been a while.
Yeah, Hell's Seattle, North America. There's got to be a story.
Well, I did quite a bit of work over the years, traveling back and forth to Seattle. And like with any American city, in fact, like with any city across the globe, there's an Irish connection. So we happened to come across this bar downtown Seattle where it's all cool and grungy, and yet there's a little strong Irish stronghold, I should say, in the corner there. So we had one or two nights out, a couple of team meetings, and the odd song. So yeah, some
Oh,
great memories there about it, really.
isn't it amazing that no matter where we go, and you talk, maybe it's to the point you talk to other colleagues and ex-colleagues, there's something very fond. There's a fond memories for most people of Irish bar with an Irish guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the camaraderie and it's the face-to-face contact. It's the stuff we're actually missing at the moment. Um, and it's not that I spent, 25 or 30 years working for a company and, which was great, but it's the snippets like this that you recall, and it's the people and the conversations and maybe the night out. So, I mean, they're the memories you take forward.
Yeah, I can't remember who said it, but a million years ago, I read it or heard it myself. People rarely remember what you said, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. And
That's
maybe
it.
that's it too, that you've got that fuzzy feeling when you were having a few whiskeys and a few Guinness, maybe. But listen, so if you were here in this bar right now and you closed your eyes, dead or alive, who would you love to have in that bar right now with you?
Well, I think I'd like to talk to the Beatles as a group.
All
Um,
of them. All of
All
them.
of them, yeah,
Right.
if that was possible. And I
Okay.
would like to talk to the Beatles in their first 5 years incarnation as opposed to the latter 5 years,
Okay.
because I just think there was no agenda with them. I just think they were full of fun. They were very sarcastic. Looking at some of their movies, a little bit slapstick, but it was sort of easy watching, easy reading. I've been watching a few documentaries on them recently, and whether you're John or Paul, and that's a whole different argument. I think they'd be good fun to spend an hour or two and have a beer with.
And was that the obviously we see the Beatles a lot in their Beatlemania and stuff. So that's the period more in the dungeon. And then over in, didn't they hang out in Hamburg and places like that in Germany for quite a while? Is that the era you're
Yeah,
thinking of?
Hamburg, Germany, and even up to the mid '60s, they were touring around. And to your point, it really was Beatlemania, whereby
Yeah.
it was just some crazy times for those guys who were in their maybe only mid 20s by that time.
Mm.
So, I just think having some good fun, some good jokes. There's obviously an Irish connection with Liverpool as well. Not to mention the red side of Liverpool. I don't know which side you are. So there'd be quite a lot to talk about.
Isn't it amazing when you think about great bands of the past and then you talk about teams and stuff? I mean, the more you age, the more you realize that you need a blend of all sorts to have a great team. And I suppose then with those two, or particularly John and Paul, at some stage they obviously did the ego start to become too much.
Yeah, I
You,
think the ego, I think external influences and vested interests, um, we'd have to say that there was women involved, but we could get in trouble for that. But,
yeah,
it was all of that wrapped into one as they matured,
yeah,
and were influenced themselves. But at the first half of their careers, I just think that they were maybe novices was the word,
yeah,
and they were just sort of playing what was in front of them, to use an analogy.
yeah.
So I think there's a free spirit about them.
And isn't it interesting again about sort of they always talk about Ringo or a drummer in a band. You only notice the drummer when he's not there because he keeps them in tempo and he keeps them in rhythm. And they often say about the Beatles that Ringo was there, sort of like the meat and the sandwich, working around because all the other three were so creative in their own way.
Yeah.
So you do need that sort of blend of different personalities. And even today, when you listen to Ringo, I'd love to hang out with him for a few minutes. He's a cool
Yeah,
dude, you
no,
know.
it's very true. And speaking of teams, it takes all sorts to make a successful team. And you know, they were certainly, John and Paul were very much type A personalities, you would imagine, and George to some degree, while a
Yeah,
creative force, maybe not as forthright, but
yeah.
you had Ringo there, which was, you know, personified something completely different. So you know, it was all of those forces together made them what they were. And that's a very simplistic way of looking at a team made up of the different parts. So yeah, it's a very good point you've made there, Gary.
So we're in nearly year two of an extraordinary period, to say the least.
Say the least.
To say the least. Um, what have you learned in the last 24 hours? I won't say 12 months, 24 hours. Let's break it down.
Well, in the last 24 hours, I've learned a very, very important thing that I'd like to share with everybody, and that's how to make flapjacks with my 8-year-old daughter. Now, I was under strict supervision, strict instructions, just to get the ingredients ready, and then she would do the rest.
How did it go? Come
So
on. How did it go?
that was great fun, and they tasted lovely, of course, despite my best efforts.
Yeah.
So that was a big learning lesson for me in the last 24 hours, which is which was great.
Well, all I can say is I have a young girl as well who likes baking, and flapjacks are a bit like boiling an egg, right? There's about three ingredients, isn't there? But I still managed to burn it the last time that we tried on it. There's only three ingredients.
Yeah.
So something nobody knows about you.
Something that nobody knows. Well,
Nobody, no, sorry, something that people will be either surprised or don't know about Steve.
well, I don't have many skeletons in the closet, I don't think. And of course you'll say, of course, Byrne, that's the case. But I played chess for Wicklow when I was a very young child, about 12, 13 years of age. Now it's a long time ago. And more recently, actually, my 8-year-old has started taking me on in chess as well. So it's quite funny, actually, that you mentioned it. But that's something that people would not know even.
Listen, Wicklow, I live in Wicklow, as you know. It's not the biggest county in Ireland. It's a beautiful county, but it wouldn't be known for its chess. So when you say you played chess for Wicklow, was this like in a big All Ireland competition or a regional competition?
I know it was more. I think it was more to do with community games, competition type stuff back in the day. It wasn't. It certainly wasn't high end. I suppose to answer your question, Wicklow would not be known for chess. It wouldn't exactly be known for football for for winning matches. It might be known for football for other reasons. And certainly played chess on the pitch down there for a few years too, and lived to tell the tale.
Are you a Wicklow? You're a Wicklow lad, are you?
Oh, originally, yeah, I am indeed. Yeah, yeah.
Down
Wicklow
down down to town.
down to town.
Yeah, okay. Because
100%.
I'm a blow-in Wicklow man. I'm an
Ah,
scary.
okay.
And when the Dubs do 7 in a row, I go up the road and I go over the border, and then I just take the celebration and I come back down again. So Stephen Byrne, Mercury Engineering, building everything and great things all over the world. You've given us a small little insight into what it's like to be inside your head. Thank you so much. We have another bar in our list now, Kells in Seattle.
Yeah. I look forward to getting back there at some stage, not virtually, but in person. I think while we all maybe give out about travel to some degree, if you were doing a lot of it, and we have over the years, I think if you ask somebody now, could they, get on a plane and travel, let alone travel 10 kilometers down the road, I think they'd bite your arm off. So, we look forward to better times. And I think it's important that we, try and keep connected with people and stay close to them, especially the ones you love and know. And just think about what people are dealing with as well in these strange times. Thanks for your time, Gary.
No, thank you. And the research we did, the deep research we did for this pub, the owner said you're welcome back anytime once you pay up what you owe them. I'm just saying that's what he said to us. Thank you, Stephen.